Oh, yeah. Oh, hey. Welcome back to the project room. Today's video is going to be targeting some gamers using older computers right now. Are you trying to play the new Call of Duty Warzone and your system maybe isn't up to par? Specifically, we're going to target the motherboard holders of the LGA-1155 Intel. If you go out there to some of the other tech channels, they will tell you that 1155 is hot garbage and you can't play the latest and greatest on it. False. They can't play on it. But I think getting a 60 FPS affordable Call of Duty Warzone experience is more than achievable. Yet again, I know it is because I've done it. A friend of mine at work is using an 1155 board right now. The deal was right for him. So do you have an 1155 board and are you struggling to run a smooth performance on Call of Duty Warzone or the latest and greatest games? Well, then you're in the right place. Because when I was fixing the channel computer, and we got that, we're recording back on the first build we made with the Xeon in it. We're going to stick with the theme of Xeon, and I'm going to show you an affordable way to upgrade your old gaming PCs. Maybe you even have something like this. Does that look like your computer? Well, we can turn this thing. We're going to grab a new case and everything. We're really going to pizzazz it up. But this is something that can be made Call of Duty Warzone ready. Now, just looks like a case. We're going to go in here and have a look. I'll show you exactly how dirty, which is something you need to clean if you want a performance boost. That's one of the biggest things you can do. But we're going to make a Call of Duty Warzone PC out of this 9-year-old or something. We'll find out more. But it's I found it the other day when I was fixing a bunch of machines and I forgot I even had it. So we're going to do a very budget-oriented video today. This is going to cost very little money to get a Call of Duty Warzone PC with a smooth experience. Come along for the ride. All right, we have the side panel off of our office PC. I can tell I've been in here once already, but I just looked at it, and it's not going to be too bad to swap out. Now, if you don't have any of these parts, don't run out and grab them to rebuild this unless you want to for fun. But if you have something like this and you want to play Call of Duty Warzone smoothly, we're going to start look at our power supply. What did they give us? A 350? Well, that is just not quite going to cut it. We've got a hard drive. We're going to, we'll use that depending on its size for a, where does it? 500 gigabyte? That's fine as a backup storage, but we are going to add a solid state drive. You just need to these days. Solid state drives bring everything to life. You got to have Windows on a solid state. We got this one PCIe 16 slot for graphics card. That is only a PCIe 2.0, but you'd be surprised how little you lose between PCIe 2 and 3. Maybe about 2-3 frames a second, or less than 10% anyway, depending on the card. 2 memory DIMM slots, which is too bad because I have been ordering 8 gig DDR3 sticks forever and they're just never showing up due to the human malware. But that's fine. Since this is a budget-oriented build, we will just use 2 sticks of 4. And the SATA storage ports there, those are only SATA 2. That's 3 gigabytes a second. Again, you will not hardly notice. So we are going to also keep the CD drive because there are ways to get older CD games running on Windows 10. You just have to know. We'll do a video on that one day. But I like having them in there, keeping the old things alive. So that being said, let's see if we can turn it on before we clean it. I hate turning dusty machines on. It's just hard on them, and sometimes the dust stops them from even running. But let's see what kind of CPU and memory we have to deal with, and then we'll do the upgrades. So we've got that. Let's see if we can get in the BIOS. Del. There we go. That time is probably right. 8 gigabytes of DDR3 running at 1066. I think there's probably higher stuff in there. Or maybe that's all that. Pentium G630 at 27 gigahertz supports. Well, I'll tell you what. That is not going to run Call of Duty Warzone. And if it does, I'd be surprised. And if it does, you're not going to enjoy it. But we are going to turn this machine into an enjoyable, smooth Call of Duty Warzone experience. Again, if you have some of these components, that's going to really bring down the bill. But we're going to do this for a nice price point. So strap in, get something to drink. We are going to tear this thing down. Okay, everybody, enter the Xeon E3-1230V2. This is the pretty much the lowest price Xeon that has hyperthreading and the turbo boost and the PCIe support that you're going to want. This brings it's about an equal performance to a non-overclocked i7-2600K ish in that department, in that area. You get so many different things. But the 1230 V2 is the, like I said, the low end. So out with the Pentium Gold and in with the Xeon. And that's going to make a world of difference when it comes to trying to play some games on this wonderful motherboard. I am quite excited for this motherboard. This motherboard has been serving faithfully as somebody's office machine. I haven't decided. The stock cooler will be more than enough for the Xeon because you don't really overclock the Xeon. But I'm going to make this budget build. It is going to be cheap. I'm going to make it look good. So I might stick a blue CPU fan on there, aftermarket. We'll see. Once I get the case going and see how it comes together, we'll decide or not if we're going to use the stock cooler. You can definitely, if you have this Xeon, you're going to use the stock cooler to save some more dollars or pounds or whatever it is, your currency. Definitely an option, but we've got our new CPU in the board. It is supported according to the manufacturer's specs. Get some memory and keep putting this thing together. Okay, in front of us is our budget case. We have the HEC HX210 Black. Hopefully I got that right. Now this case screams budget. We have the acrylic side panel, and I'll tell you what, the advertisement and the specs and the pictures, the stock footage when I bought the thing sure don't do it justice. That's not... Oh, okay, there's an inside peel layer too. That's going to help a lot. But because it's... Oh, you know what? It is decently tinted. Wow, those side stickers really blocked a lot. But because it's so dark, I'm thinking I might not use that stock cooler because I really need some nice bright blue to make this thing pop. We'll see. I've got some blue LEDs I'll probably stick in there, but this thing is, I mean, this case screams budget. It must weigh like 2 pounds. It's so light. Not even. But it's perfect for budget building in 2020 during the human malware when you're trying to use what you've got and upgrade it. And we've got, I'll put that down there, the perfect, oh boy, the perfect, oh no, is that going to fit? Oh no. Okay, good. We'll get the I/O shield in. Always remember to put your I/O shield in, but that's going to be the perfect size case for this little motherboard. And I got this case for $40 Canadian. That's way less American and a little more Australian and in your respective currency. So let's get it in there. Turn it on eventually.
All right, we have our build. I did go with the stock cooler, as the Xeon is not really overclockable. It should be fine, and it looks good. I did get a bit of a surprise. I thought I put a blue LED strip in there. I ended up putting a green one in there, but it looked great. That little blue sapphire light from the graphics card shone through, and I really liked the way this build accidentally looked, so I'm going to leave it this way. I won't lie, for the cost of that case, it does feel cheap, but it does look good at the same time, so everybody wins, I guess. Let's do some gameplay. Let's see the real-time results of what it is that this 1155 board with a Xeon and an RX 580 can do. The first game I checked out was Fortnite. Now, I'm not a big Fortnite player, but it is a popular title, and especially for budget builds, it's not hugely demanding. With epic settings maxed out, this thing stayed between 60 and 80 frames pretty much the entire match. I was even able to get myself a victory royale. Don't ask me how. Maybe it was bots, but it was a surprise to me too. We pulled it off though. Let's check out some frames in Tomb Raider. Not Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but regular Tomb Raider from 2017, I think. But it's something I had. Alright, Tomb Raider. I have the settings at the preset of Ultra. There are higher you could go, but I started here, and then with the result and the way the game looked fantastic anyway, I wanted to show you. So I'm playing on Ultra settings. We have over 140 frames usually, up to 180. If you had a 144 hertz monitor like I do, you could play some seriously beautiful Tomb Raider. Now again, it's not Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but it's just to show you these budget builds can handle a lot and play it well. I love Tomb Raider. This game is fun, but I didn't want to spend too much time here. I want to move on to another one that's well optimized, Doom 2016. Alright, you'll have to forgive me for the footage of Doom. I have no idea what's in front of the camera there, but something. But the point is to see the frames per second anyway, so we're going to roll with it. We had a gameplay experience on the Vulkan API, which is so well done. Of about an average about 130 frames, sometimes down in the high teens, and sometimes we saw up in the 50s. Again, like what a well-optimized game. Doom will just run about on almost anything. It's crazy good. I had such a smooth experience that I played this one, and I didn't even get to the main event, which is next. How did Call of Duty Warzone or Modern Warfare hold up? Well, let me tell you, it held up pretty darn well. In 1920 by 1080p, we had an average of 75 frames on high settings. This was a really smooth gameplay experience. I played mostly campaign for the footage. I did play some multiplayer and the frames were the same, but it was just smooth. This green machine really turned out well. That's the LGA-1155 motherboard. Save that from the scrap heap. It was destined for the e-waste. But I said, no. You might have one. You don't even know it's around your home, or somebody you know that they don't want their old thing. You can probably get it for pretty cheap because they are fairly old. The RX 580 graphics card is going to be your most expensive part here. I got mine for $160 plus shipping. Canadian, you can probably find one similar, maybe a little more. Prices have gone up. I got the 256 solid state drive for $55 plus shipping. Now I think those are a little more too, but you can find them. You can find deals every once in a while. I saved the 500 gigabyte hard drive for backup storage. You can add more drives if you want. Most of those 1155 boards have at least 4 or more SATA ports. I really did, with the solid state drive, didn't feel bad load times. It was really good. So talk about an inexpensive build for Call of Duty Modern Warfare to play Warzone and things like that. And I didn't even need to do the case. You could just leave it in that office case. That's fine too. But I paid another $40 plus shipping for that, just because why not? And it looks great. $1.38 for the LED strip, just so you know. You don't need to add that either, but there's what a great build for this, and what a smooth experience. What a great campaign Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the newest one, has. It's nice to see a good campaign. It's been on too many years. But that's going to do it for this one. Like if you saw something you liked, and dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching. Now get out of here. We all got stuff to do.